Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Shunting Yard. It is Thursday evening, 8 p.m. GMT, as we are always here. How is everybody doing? We've got a few people in the chat already, but I'm going to turn over to my co-host this evening. Joining me tonight, we have Charlie. Say hello, Charlie.
Hello.
And Phil is back for round 2.
Hello, me.
What are you doing here, Phil?
You left the door open again.
I left that.
That's my line. You've stolen my line.
Actually, I came in through the window.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I should probably shut that. It's getting a bit cold outside, so I'll have to shut that later. Yeah, we'll have to get into that in a second because I've been told you've got quite a cold snap in the UK. It's been snowing in places.
Yes, we have a few. A light dusting of icing sugar on the Malvern Hills. And -6 this morning.
-6?
-6, yeah.
Holy crud.
Yeah, so naturally that means everybody's going to buy all the bread and milk.
Oh, yeah. And you're going to end up with all the sand, all the grit in the buckets at the end of all the streets is going to disappear overnight because people are nicking it for their own supply.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone touch my cookies.
No, fantastic. No, I'm glad you guys are all right. It's been one of those weeks, hasn't it? There's been ups and downs this week.
Yes, certainly come to a head today, hasn't it?
Yes. Today was we had 2 anticipating announcements this week, and we'll get into those in a few moments. But a few heads have been turned, and a few heads haven't. So lots going on in the world. But before we get into that, what you drinking tonight, gents?
In honour of the of all the diva-like behaviour, I've actually got some diva juice. I've got some rosé.
Wow.
I've got some rosé. So yeah, a toast to all the divas out there. Cheers.
Cheers. Sorry, Chris has just 2 foot of snow in Beckle.
Oh yes, yeah. They've been Yorkshire. They've got a bit more.
I mean, I saw images of the North Yorkshire moors, which looks great, but I didn't think 2 foot. That's insane. It's almost as tall as Sam.
In the early 90s, used to get a good 2 foot of snow.
Yes.
Those are the days.
Yeah, now it's like there's like half an inch, and the whole of the UK comes to a standstill.
Half an inch? A millimetre?
I was going to say a millimetre.
But, you know.
Fantastic. So, Phil, you said you're drinking Coke, are you?
Yeah.
Me, I'm on Aqua, unfortunately. In my infinite wisdom, I've decided that I need to lose some weight. So I've started fasting again. So I need to change. I only started like 2 days ago, so maybe I'm going to have to adapt the fast to start at like 9 in the evening, so I can have at least 1 dram before I finish, you know.
But have a spirit. It's got less calories in it.
This is true. Well, this is true. I mean, I might have to take up vodka.
Do that. Yeah, do that.
Fantastic. Well, before we get into our modelling antics this week, we've got Matt is joining us in the chat. Hello, Matt. You'll see Matt next week, but we'll get onto that later on. Phil, you're also in the chat.
I don't know how I do that.
We've got another Matt in the stream 2 weeks in a row now. Thank you very much for joining us. We love to have you here. Oliver is here as well. If you cut the red wire, stream will start. If you cut the black wire, no more DCC. Rob's joining us as well. Good evening. Bloody hell, Phil's beard grew quickly.
Welcome to middle age, Hilton.
Yeah.
Lukash is joining us as well. We've already seen Chris at Peachy is here. Andy at Fry's Junction is joining us as well. Welcome. Max, sorry I was late making tea. Yeah, Max, of course you were. Aaron, and I have to mention this. Aaron said he was not going to be watching the stream this week because he's not interested in DCC.
Yeah, so why are you here, Aaron?
Yeah, here he is. No, we're happy to have you. We're happy to have you, mate. Thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, thank you.
Stephen's joining us as well. The Glennock and Rathmore 009 is here as well. Thank you very much for joining us. I think you're a new commenter. Correct me if I'm wrong. So
and
thank you very much.
Well, by the name.
Narrow gauge as well, which is something we need to get back into narrow gauge. We've only done one dedicated stream for it. He's apparently
he's not coming on today.
He's not so he's not coming on then. No, apparently he's put a heater on up in the loft because it's freezing, and he's fixing Tom Roll.
Again.
So we'll see how that works.
No comment.
So. Maths teach vodka in a bottle of Evian. I tried that once. I got told off. They do not appreciate you walking into work with a sippy cup full of whiskey. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, you can get away with it with vodka, maybe.
So yeah. Anyway, so enough of that. What modelling have you guys been up to this week?
I've been buying more stuff that I probably shouldn't have.
Yes, you have.
I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. It was too cheap. It was literally, it's cheap, I'll buy it.
Well, I bought a B1.
Here it is.
Yeah, I saw that.
And another tornado.
Another tornado.
Another?
Yeah, the in BR green instead of apple green.
Ooh.
Like
Did you buy more trains with faces, Charlie?
I didn't buy any trains with faces.
No.
No, I've put a DCC chip in Toby. In my back one, Toby.
It took 7 minutes. It took 7 minutes, and the guy who doesn't like trains with faces is the one that started the conversation of trains with faces.
Yeah,
well done, Hilton. Well done. And he's gone. We've alienated him from the group chat, and he's gone from the stream too. Love you, Hill.
Here's the B1 box for anyone who's
B1 is a stellar model. I do like those. Matt bought a City of Truro this week, which it looks rather good. Matt, you're when you've got that up and running, you're gonna have to show us because that looks fantastic. I, on the other hand, I did some shunting. I played with the sound profiles of the 4400 and the King to do a bit more tweaking, and then I'm going to my friends tomorrow. We've got a big modelling day going on tomorrow. We're building a fiddle yard. Finally, after 2 years of, laying the first bit of scenic track on his layout and things like that, we're finally going to be building the fiddle yard. So we might get round to having a full loop of track over the weekend, which would be lovely. Bear in mind, that's 60 meters of track. So lots to do. But I'll be running all my stock over tomorrow while having a few. So looking forward to that. What about you guys? We've seen some of your purchases. If you've got any other bits of modeling that you've been doing this week, we would love to hear about it. We'd also like to hear about it in the Discord as well. So if you're on Discord, if you use your computer, your phone, whatever, please feel free to come and join the community. It's slightly active. People do comment there, but it's slowly growing into a nice little community, and quite a bit of wrestling talk as well. We have lots of other channels and things. But digressing, I think we have to go and start the news.
We do.
We've got quite a bit of news.
We do.
I'll do the hands.
Do the hands, yes.
Do the hands.
Yes.
Jazz hands.
Yeah, jazz hands.
Save a line, Phil.
Max saw a very good meme the other day. Yes, this is true. Also, all of the memes that people do create of us and our streaming and other things do end up in the Discord. So if that's something you fancy, go over there too. So where are we going to start with the news today? We have to start with Picorama. I think this is one of the biggest bits of news that has come in this week and this year, I would say. So as I understand it, Pico have released a new hairspray line. Of course they have. Lukash,
yeah.
Send Hilton the meme that you sent me.
Yeah.
Send him the meme. So this is the news that Picorama will be closing their doors for the 2026 season. And I don't think they've given any inkling as to whether or not it will be coming back. There is hope that it will come back. I know a lot of people have been reminiscing over the last few days, sharing videos, sharing clips and stories and things like that. This is very sad news. Very, very sad news. I don't remember going there, but I have been to Pico when I was very young. So I don't have a memory of it, but I know I was there. But I would love to have, set up some plans for next year while I'll be in the UK with my daughters. My oldest is at that age where this is perfect for her. And perfect for me. I'm a big kid. So, yeah, this is a little bit of a blow. I'm not going to lie. What about you two? Did either of you visit Picorama? Or have any plans to?
No. I've never been. But from what I've heard and seen from videos, and it looks like it would be a great place to visit. And it's a shame that any railway, regardless of whether it's standard gauge, narrow gauge, half a mile long, 10 miles long, it's sad to see.
Yeah, so hopefully it's not the end. With some luck, we'll get some information. Maybe there'll be some backing or something like that to help them get back on their feet. But it would be nice to see them back in 2027 for sure.
Mm.
Maybe we'll even meet there. That would be fun.
Maybe that would be good.
Watch this space. Also, as Max mentions, just after celebrating the 50th year of the light railway as well, which is insane because I would have thought that would have been a spur on kind of, hurrah, let's keep going. So with some luck. So goodbye, Picorama. I hardly knew you.
So sincere, James. So sincere.
Sorry. I try and put little quotations in here, there, and everywhere. That's what I've got to do it.
That's
moving.
Just suddenly,
just moving on. Quick project update here. So I don't remember seeing anything about the Electrostars actually being moved from a startup or I can't remember what the acronym is or what the saying is for it, but going from interest gathering, that thing. So I saw these engineering samples and I think they look fantastic.
They do.
They're just 3D prints and a bit of metal. I think they look absolutely brilliant. That pantograph looks rather nice as well. So I thought I'd just bring this up and show you guys that, look, there is an EMU coming. It's a tad expensive. I think we've mentioned this beforehand. So if it's up your street, fantastic.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Moving swiftly on.
Well, we're moving swiftly on. We've got to get this train going on. James likes Secure Scales pants. No, panniers.
Yeah, panniers.
We're not talking about them either. We're not talking about them.
No, we're not. No. Moving on.
Evening, Rob. Atlantic for the win. Yes, it's the wrong Atlantic. It's the wrong Atlantic. Anyway, this is the announcement. Rapido are now releasing a GNR Class 2 or the LNER Class C12 Atlantic tank engine, which I think is a fantastic addition. I absolutely love these models. This GNR green one is really, really nice.
It's nice to see these obscure tank engines and locomotives coming through.
Yes,
and I don't mean to be disrespectful by using the term obscure because it's something different. It's not just your standard. Just standard Big Four. No, it's pre-grouping stuff. It's a bit of everything: north, south, east, west.
Yeah, no, I think this is fantastic. I think it's a good investment on their side, and I'll be looking forward to seeing the engineering samples and the deco samples. What do you guys think in the chat? Let us know. quickly before we move on. Evening, Bruce. Thank you very much. Hello, Bruce. Sorry,
Good day.
I have to do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I definitely might get one of these. I'll get the Great Northern one. If
I
do.
do like the Great Northern one.
Well, it goes well with my Sterling single and my the C1.
Bill's here as well. Yes. So, you can look out 189.95 DCC ready, 294.95 DCC sound fitted, and there will be 9 livery variations of this.
Only 9?
Only 9. You're slacking, Rapido. You're slacking. So there you are. Go to your normal go to your retailers or go directly to Rapido. Get these put in. Yeah, hound them for a few. Another one from Rapido, which I thought was fantastic, and I've seen some people not so happy about this, but I think this is great.
I think they're brilliant.
Well, quickly, Max said, I think the C12 is cool because it hasn't made in Ready Run and before in Ready to Run. Models are always more interesting when they haven't been made. Foreshadowing.
Don't know what he's on about.
Max is just stirring the pot here. Steam doesn't personally interest me. I model 1995 onwards. My customers have shown no interest in the GNR logos either, mainly the BR Green modelers onwards. Interesting.
Oh.
Well, there we have it. But there are 2 new brake vans, and to go along with Rapido's what if liveries that they do on some of their wagons, namely the Guy Fawkes liveries.
What a splendid edition.
Now, I mentioned this, I think I foreshadowed this in one of the previous streams when they announced the Guy Fawkes wagons, and I said they should probably do a brake van for that.
They must be listening into our stream.
They must be. They must be, but I must be. It's this microphone that Hilt gave me. It must be.
First it was the Class 13s, and now it's brake vans. What's next?
Well, I did get both of this week's. I did get both of this week's announcements completely wrong. So I've had my 3. I've had my 3, and that there you go. And yes, as Oliver points out, it's a police box brake van. It's a TARDIS brake van. Although it's labelled K9, so there you are. Take that how you will. I think
there should be an Alsatian in there as a guardsman.
We were discussing this beforehand. Yeah, I think this definitely needs to be there needs to be an Alsatian on the veranda. And I don't know if Tom is in the chat, but if we could get a tall, spiky-haired Scotsman wearing a blue suit and Converse shoes as a 3D model, that would be fantastic. Let's just leave it at that. So there you are. So these are now coming as part of that announcement as well. So $46.95 recommended retail price there. Next, this was the first of the 2 announcements that I got completely wrong. This is the announcement that Rails of Sheffield are going to be working. Rails of Sheffield Locomotion Models have commissioned Bachmann to create the NER independent snowplows. They're expected in 2026. They'll be coming in 3 different liveries, and 2 of them will be twin plaques. Now, I know Aaron is not happy about this because he, at the end of last year, I believe, bought the Nui Models kit of this, which is a fantastic kit. But I don't know. I don't know about this. Any thoughts on this quickly before we, try not to keep thoughts on this and dwell on the news. But I think this definitely needs a bit.
For me, it's almost like a Toad brake van and Toby have had a baby.
Oh, here we go.
That's the only thing I see. I just think, yeah.
A J70 and a Toad have had an accident.
Yeah.
And this is what's happened.
They didn't use protection, and look what happened.
Look, I like the look of them. I think they're fantastic. Is it the right choice? I don't know. People will love them. People might not love them. I saw some people suggesting that maybe they'll end up staying on shelves at the prices that they are. So you're looking at $69.95 for the single, which I believe is the NER brown version. And then the 2 twin packs are $129.95, which is LNER blue and a BR, a grey or a black. I can't remember quite honestly because it doesn't interest me. I'm not going to lie. But some people are happy for this, so good for you. If you're ordering one, let us know. We'd love to see it, honestly. We'd love to see it. Rob has arrived and is apparently has fixed Tom Rolt. Does it have a Wallshots valve gear?
What are you sniffing, Rob? Can I have some?
What are you sniffing? Whatever you're sniffing, we want it because Irish.
Is he taking my advice from last week of the IPA?
I think he might be. Okay, so moving swiftly. Very quickly, Rails of Sheffield are opening their second shop next weekend. Not this weekend, next weekend at the Slough. Thanks, Aaron. Thanks, mate. Yeah, see, this is my lack of care, as I don't know what the deliveries were. Anyway, Sheffield railway station. There will be a model railway shop there, so even more of a reason to stop in Sheffield. Probably the only reason.
To buy trains. Perfect.
If you're going, I would love to know if you're going to go there. I would look forward to see what's going on. But yeah, just thought I'd mention this. Next, we are getting to the close. We're getting to the close. Dapol released engineering samples or decorated samples, of the Bullied Like Pacific, and also announced that they are doing Sir Winston Churchill, which I think is a great choice. I think this is the perfect choice for them. I'm not sure if maybe they should have done it as the flagship, but I still think it's a great addition. So whoever's done that, I think is a good choice. Very good choice.
Yeah, I actually really like the finish on that.
It does look good.
It does look like. Ooh,
it does look good. So there you are. So if you haven't got a Winston Churchill, there's a spam can of Winston Churchill coming. So there you are. So 249.90. That's not 249.98. It's actually 390. That's the deliberate mistake of this week. There you are. So actually, it's 399 for the black label. Over that sounds 399.99 sound and smoke. Are you hoping that this is better than the A4? Are you picking up a black label like Pacific?
I think my brother might be tempted now because he quite likes the idea of Winston Churchill. He's very much into sort of like war heroes, war figures, admirals.
I completely agree. I completely agree. This would almost tempt me if I had a layout big enough. Had a layout. Why is it that with Dapple Skill Sands and why does it look wrong? Does it?
I suppose the metal rims on the wheels do look a bit chunky, but that's me being a bit pedantic.
I'll stick to my £30 locos that barely work. Thanks. Yeah, no, I
Double
understand.
Got it right. Yeah. Just buy an old clapped out triangle one and get it working.
Aaron, don't get me started. Let's leave it at that. Now, this is the one that a lot of people were waiting for.
Of course.
Nobody was waiting for, but a lot of people were waiting for the announcement itself. There was a lot of expectation as to what was coming up. For some reason, so at the NEC, the Acura Scale slot is called A Tribute to Dudley. That's what it says in the program. It says Acura Scale, A Tribute to Dudley. So there were a lot of speculation that it was going to be something that was operating around there, or headed there, or something like that. And I thought, well, what could it be obscure? It'll be some obscure shunter, and that will be perfect because that's what Acura Scale do. They do obscure things. And then a picture of a Class 70 popped up this morning. And then we got this, or these, should I say, plural, these. So, Acura Scale have announced a newly tooled Class 08 an 089, which is new to the ready-to-run market, and Class 10, which I believe is also new to the ready-to-run market.
That it is.
Will be coming in 9 liveries. All models will have stay alives, coreless motors, full lighting. So all the things that you expect from a modern locomotive. Fully die-cast chassis and frame. Yes, Max, I know those ones aren't obscure. But what intrigued me is, so their latest innovation was the transparent uncoupler. They're now having auto uncouplers coming out. Specifically in the Class 08 brief, they mention as one of the features a 2-pin socket for auto uncoupler. Now, this could be interesting, but correct me if I'm wrong. Does the Bachmann auto uncoupler, and I'm asking the chat here because I don't know if any of you own the auto uncouplers from Bachmann, but do they can you take them off, or are they hardwired into the locomotive? Because if they aren't, this is a decent step, but it still feels copy and paste. So, hang on, Hilton, is that yes, you can take them off, or yes, they're hardwired?
I think they're hardwired. I think, but I've not had a go with one. But
it's a simple plug. Okay, so in that case, not an innovation. There you are. That's what I wanted to determine. That's what I wanted to understand. But I thought, maybe this is something that will come up later on. Anyway, I'm in two minds about this launch. I think it was a bit underwhelming. I think a lot of people were expecting a Class 70, which they did tease at the end. They did tease at the very end. So you can expect an Acura Scale Class 70 to become announced in the new year. But I don't know. It just feels like this was rushed. Like, I understand that it was being developed for a time, and maybe they've gone, well, now we need to announce it, otherwise it's going to take too long. I don't know. Maybe I don't know enough about the manufacturing process or something, but it seems a bit underwhelming from me. They wanted to do the 089, but they couldn't just do the 6 models of the 089. They had to do other stuff as well. Just what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think adding the Class 10 to the mix is a good thing, because that's got a different engine, different sound, profile's different. So it's not just rinse and repeat. And I think from what I've seen today, this has seen the best and the worst of the hobby in one day, this announcement.
Yes.
Some of the things that I've seen online makes me think, you know what, I don't want to associate with any of these people, because you're just, well, I can say this word because it's bellends. They're utter bellends.
It's been a bit polarizing, hasn't it?
What they see is they see what looks like an 08, and they jump to the wrong conclusions and don't actually do their research. And I think that they've done a good thing here. I mean, I've read some of the things on it. They've been at this for 2 years already. And I imagine when they got the announcement last year that Bachmann were doing an 08 shunter, it was almost like, oh, fiddlesticks. We better kind of put a rocket up this and get this moving. And if they've already invested heavily in this, which looking at it they have, you're not going to can it and go, well, we better not do it in case someone says we duplicate it. So let's see what we can do that makes it so, okay, it looks like an 08, even though it's not an 08 or whatever.
Yeah.
They've got to try and do something to appeal to a niche somewhere. And to be honest, I think they've done it right with the price point. That's the thing that's got me, is the price point. They've done this, I think it's about £20 cheaper on the DC Ready and £40-50 cheaper on the DCC Sound, and the option of just adding your own auto uncouplers instead of paying another 20 quid on top.
Yeah. So I think that's the saving grace for this. And we can go back and you can refer to the Class 60, the duplication of the Class 16 competition and all that jazz. But I think the price point here is what tips this, and it will come down to which manufacturer do you prefer at the end of the day. And this is an all-inclusive hobby. We all have our rights to choose. That's what Rule 1 is for.
Mm-hmm.
We can just give our opinions on this. I don't think I'll be picking any of these up. Just two of them are too niche for my liking. And yeah, it's another thing that I don't need to run because it's way too out at the moment. But if you're going to pick one up, go and pick one up. I think they look good. Whether or not they're better detailed than the Bachmans, I don't know. But each to their own.
I'll go for a black one. I'll go for a black one.
Okay.
Why
I'll
not?
go for the BR black one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And weather
okay.
the hell
Nice
out
and
of it.
plain. Nice and plain. Okay. Let us know in the chat what your thoughts are on this. Don't want to dwell on it for too long.
No.
But 158.98 DCC ready, 249.98 DCC sound fitted, and they mentioned that there will be quite a few of these because they want to do as many of the range of them. There were almost 1,000 of them. So they want to do a complete range of their history. So see a lot more in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So there we have it. There's the news. As Peachy quite put it, there's a lot of that BS around at the moment. We've seen the best and the worst of the hobby in the last few weeks, and I think this is just the point to tell you that Rule 1 applies to everything.
Absolutely.
Rule 1 applies to everything. Do what you want with your hobby. Enjoy it, and be nice. At the end of the day, just be nice. Is all we can do. Anyway, moving on from that drivel, I've noticed we haven't got any music on today. I am so sorry, everybody. I am off the ball. Should we feed the ducks?
It's all right. Aaron can go and feed the ducks. He says he's off.
Yeah, he's off now to sleep.
You weren't supposed to be here anyway. Anyway, so I'm going to point you all to my channel 8 months ago, and I need to thank Phil for pointing this out to me because I was looking through our previous streams going, I'm pretty sure we talked about DCC before. I'm pretty sure we've already covered this from here, there, and everywhere. And we had. 8 months ago, Hilton, myself, and US Dan spent a good 2 hours talking random nonsense about DCC and decoders, and then we ventured into sound and didn't really leave. That was back when it was completely unstructured and less chaotic. So
I was there then as well.
So we thought, yeah, Phil, you've been here you're Stone Age. You're like us, mate. You really are. But we thought it would be prudent. We thought it'd be prudent to come back and talk about DCC. Mainly Charlie put this one to us a few months ago, basically because it seems so complicated. And is it really that complicated? So we wanted to do a several-part stream series on this. So this is part 1.5, if you want to say, version 2 of the previous one. But yeah, so we want to do various streams, and we want to talk about different aspects of DCC and control, and we'll get into automation and sound in separate topics and things like that. And maybe we'll have some people come in and join us for that. But today we want to talk about DCC, getting into it. What does it actually mean? What does it actually do? And give some pros and cons and things that we found and we enjoy out of it. So, what is DCC? Charlie, do you know what DCC is?
I can run my trains better than I can on DC. Yeah.
In some cases.
In some cases, yes. In other cases, it causes more problems than it solves.
There you are. See, look, they're right there. DCC is 2 wires. Simple.
Well, I suppose it depends if you've got a simple layout or not, I suppose.
Well, so this is the thing. So in very basic terms, DCC, or Digital Command and Control, allows you to control multiple locomotives on the same piece of track with a single amperage input thing. You can have one power source running to one complete set of track, all connected together, but you can run multiple locomotives at different speeds with different controls and things like that. If you try and do that on a DC layout, they're all going to go
at the same time.
all of that jazz, unless you have isolated sections and multiple different DC controllers. Hello, Train Guy. Thank you very much for joining us. See, Aaron, I mentioned DC, and you're still here. So, yeah.
He just can't help himself. That's what it is. He's just drawn to us like a moth to a flame.
I have no idea. What I'm doing. I'm taking over from you.
No, I really don't know what yeah, I can't say it yet because we've got 24 minutes.
It's 24 minutes. You'll be fine. So DC is the original way of doing things, or I would say AC maybe was the original way of doing things, and then they moved to DC, so direct current, where a single 12-volt controller or 19-volt, depending on which system you use, changes the amount of juice going to the motor of your locomotive, depends then on how fast it goes around with those two bits of metal, and all of those bits of metal need to be connected physically, or you have to have multiple dropper wires going to each different section, blah blah blah, to be able to control each one. If you have separate loops and you want to control separate trains, you need to have two separate controllers, so on and so forth. With DCC, it's different. You can, and I have done this, you can get away with two wires for an entire layout.
You can do that.
But don't do that.
Yeah, don't. You can do it.
You can do it, but don't do it. That's basics. That's basic 101 of DCCs. You can use two wires, but don't do that. But essentially, DCC it's through something called pulse width modulation, which is lots of bars and lots
technical
of
terms.
Things
Steady
like
on
that.
now.
Basically sends the power comes directly to the track, and the signals get sent to the decoder on how to use said power and what commands to use, different things, different speed adjustments, etc. All very, very technical, but it goes through the electric current. There you are, problem solved. DCC done. We can move on now. Yeah,
we've got the painful bit out of the way.
We've got the painful bit out of the way. So Andy's my layout is 24 foot by 28 foot and has two wires powering it. I have no issues running all 7 sound locos at once.
Oof.
There you are. See, as I said,
for that.
2 wires enter the layout. Well, if you want to keep that mentality, technically, 2 wires come out of the command station. They just get split, in some cases, into multiple more. So what you end up having is sort of the combination between the DC and the analog is, instead of having individual sections, it's now become pretty normal, I think, to have dropper wires. So that's a red and a black, or whatever color options you want to choose. We have no bias here. From each section of track, from each piece of track, drop down and connect to a single bus or a single wire that connects directly to your command station, allowing you to make sure that there are wanting to be much of a party pooper. Is there really anyone watching the stream who doesn't know about this? Well, I mean,
there are people that I would imagine now on the stream now, that people are in DC and they want to they think about DCC, but often they're put off by it, which is like the mystery of it. How does it all work? How does it all go together? And there are people that know it, and if you know it, you know, and if you don't know, you don't know. And it's a bit of a scary thing to transition from DC to DCC because it's unknown.
Here. So there we are. I appreciate it, Chris. Fully valid comment. I appreciate it. Not a party pooper. No, not a party pooper.
No, not at all.
So, moving on from the infographic. So, this is like choosing what car you prefer. This is where it gets complicated, and this is where I think a lot of people have different opinions and different use cases, and what makes beginners, I think, get a little bit frustrated at first is they see so many choices of controller or system or whatever like that. So I've put some of the well-known ones here. So you've got the NCE Power Cab, you've got the Hornby Select and the Hornby Elite, there's a Digitrax, there's the ESU system, the Z21, which I know a fair few people in our community have been using. I believe Hilton used that for quite a while, up until very recently. And then DCCX, which is the one I personally use. It's one of those...
I don't have any of them.
No.
No.
What system are you using?
I'm using Dynamis Ultima.
Oh, Dynamis, that's the one I missed. See, there you are.
The only one there that's wireless, I think. Because they're all wired, aren't they?
These are all wired. Yeah, these are all wired ones. Although the DCCEX one, you can have wireless. Just saying. But anyway, so the reason I wanted to point this out is to see if what controllers we use, what controller the communities use, and that choice, was it based on ease of access? Was it based on information that you had come up with? Why did you choose what you were using?
So in my case, it was the fact that I can film and move around the layout freely without being restricted by wires. The Dynamis is very much like if you're from the 90s, you know, N64 controllers, PlayStation, games consoles. I can hold the controller in one hand and my phone in the other without too much of a bother. I'm a man and I can multitask. Wow.
Can you?
So can I, but I can't say what I just thought.
I have to stop breathing when I drink. Okay, no, that's a good shout. Phil, what about you?
Hornby Select, because it's cheap.
Because it's cheap. You didn't get it in a set or anything, or
No,
anything like
I
that.
bought it off eBay.
See, and this is a perfect example. Perfect example. I myself. No, carry on.
I keep getting locos with DCC chips in them, so it's like, I'm going to need a DCC controller.
Yeah, that's usually what happens.
Apart from HM7000, but yeah.
Thank you, Max. I myself, so I was introduced. When I first started many moons ago, I was into DC. I didn't even think about DCC 20 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, whenever. And when I came to Slovakia and I met my English friend, he was running, or he is still running, a Digitrax system. And sorry, Rob's just sent a video to us instead of watching the chat.
Yeah, someone needs to mod the chat.
Yeah, somebody needs to mod the chat, Rob. Come on.
I'm here.
All these people getting feisty. Yeah, anyway, so I was introduced to the Digitrax system and I liked it. The handsets I couldn't really get used to. And then because I'm a little bit technical and I like to tinker and things like that, I've found DCC++, which was the pre for DCCX, an Arduino-based system. And I think, as Abok put here, is the DCCX system, I feel, has the draw for youngsters, given it's a tablet phone setup. And it's not just a tablet phone. This is the thing. So initially, you can run it through JMRI if you are an old bastard who wants to use his computer or his Linux or anything like that. You can use your phone or your tablet through a Y-Throttle app, or you can actually use physical controllers. So you can use a power cab if you want to. You can use the ESU handheld if you want to. They run off the same protocols, you know. They stick to the same standards. So it starts to cater for all of those audiences too. I really would want to use my phone for DCC. For me, modeling is about putting down the phone. So this is another thing. I think this is where some people are exactly like that, and I do understand that. I do agree with that in some cases, which is why I'm in the process of building a physical controller to use, because I hate having to charge my phone to be able to play with my trains.
Also, phones are very uncomfortable to hold for a long period of time.
This is also, you don't want to be sat there like this and
doesn't do your wrists any good.
It doesn't do your wrists any good, exactly. So I thought, there you go. We'll get onto controllers and chips in a minute, but this is exactly why I wanted to mention these decoders and get some other points. So yeah, there you go. So you got infrared for dynamics. So you walk past a thing and it just stops, right?
You have to have direct line of sight with the control panel. Yeah, as long as you've got that direct line of sight with the control panel, you can control it from anywhere on the layout.
Yes, yeah. Max, if it's any consolation, I'm an old bastard as well. I use JMRI. That's what I use too. Sometimes I set it up and I don't use the phone at all. I use JMRI because it's right there. Who else have we got here? Gauge Master Prodigy can be wireless. Charlie deserves a gold medal for multitasking. Chris, all of these systems put me off DCC, and it wasn't until HM7000 turned up that I swapped from DCC. Now, so this is where we come into this conversation of HM7000. We'll talk about it again in a few moments, specifically regarding the decoders. But I think it's more of a Bluetooth system connected with your phones, which speaks out to a younger generation, which is exactly what they wanted to go for. But it's also DCC compatible. But you can't run your train with the phone app in DCC mode. You still have to use a DCC controller. So it's more, I would say HM7000 as a system is a Bluetooth system which has DCC capability. Does that sound fair?
I've programmed one of my sister-in-law's locomotives, Black 5 steam sound, done the address on it on the Bluetooth on the app. Try and use it on the Dynamics, won't work.
There's a secret to that. I discovered this many times
after
having
to
what I
say about DCC. There's all these little things where you need to know the right people to be able to unlock the door.
Yeah. It's a bit strange. There's a few nuances with HM7000, and I've written most of them down. I've got 8, so 5 good and so far 3 bad things. I'm trying to balance it out before I start doing anything, but there's a few nuances with HM7000 that you need to get around with. So yes, Max is it's evolving just backwards. Yes, Bluetooth control is not a new thing.
It's not.
I believe Tsunami, so that's the DCC decoder makers or system makers in the United States, have had the Bluenami decoders for 20 years. It's been around for a while, but it's new to British modelling. Which I still think it's a win. I still really like the HM7000 system. I love that you can, exactly as Matt says here, make your Flying Scotsman sound like a diesel or your Duke Dog sound like a Class 20. But there are a few cons to it. But we won't go into that here. But I would still call it a Bluetooth system rather than a DCC system. Then we have the bits of hardware that you kind of have to use to be able to use a DCC system. And I think this is the other thing that puts people off. Because in this hobby, there are 2 or 3 major contributors, being Lock Sound, Zimmo, and I would say Soundtracks.
I've not had any experience with soundtracks.
I know that they do have some British stuff, or maybe they're just coming in. I don't know if I would say they're the big fish. But you've also got the likes of Trainomatic, you've got Lens, Roku, Pico, HM7000. Apple have the Imperium decoders. The fact that you even question that is insulting. Secret to DCC success is read the manual. Ah, yes.
I disagree with that.
We'll get to there.
I disagree with
that. Personally, I could do without the Bluetooth connection to the loco. The win for me is the interface. So this is why I was saying briefly go back to the HM7000. I haven't added anything here, but the app interface is great. The ability to read the CVs and everything like that, and everything they've poured into it is great. But being not able to control DC without a dongle thing to go into a Hornby specific controller, I think is a miss. But then what else can you do? You know, you'd have to, I mean, well, what they can do is they can make it Y-throttle compatible, and protocol compatible. But anyway, we're digressing here. But some good points. If you want to hear more about HM7000, I did 2 videos which have done quite well on some basics. So please go and check out my channel, please. Just some, shameless plugging there. Anyway, talking of plugs, there are many decoders. There are many types of decoders. A lot of people have preferences. Are we at Watershed yet? No, we're not. Exhaust ports. Everyone has one. It's the same with opinions.
Yeah.
So let's get your opinions. What do you guys in the chat think for decoder? Not sound specifically, but decoders as themselves, for the price point, the functionality, experience with them, etc. What's your preferred?
Is there anything in there?
I see at least one. So ESU is the best in my opinion. Any expansion on that? Any expansion on why ESU is the best in your opinion?
I think with ESU, for me, the reason I tend to go for ESU decoders is because they automatically register with the dynamic system, because I think it was originally done in association with ESU.
Okay.
So it'll automatically pick up the decoder. So as soon as you put it on the track, it goes, "Oh, I know you. You're ESU." So I can take it off the track and then put it back on in 2 months' time, and it will remember it, which is great. If I delete it off the Dynamis. In terms of the programming, lots of that, but that kind of gets into a whole new series of issues, which talk about in a little bit with any decoders where you need to program your locomotive. If you just plug in a lock pilot or ESU decoder into your locomotive, it's not going to run as you want it out of the box.
We aim to please, Oliver. We aim to please.
Well, big Watershed.
Yeah, but he doesn't cover. As long as I don't read it, he doesn't. He's fine with Watershed. It's us that have to worry.
Yeah.
Phil, so I know you only have one experience with DCC decoders.
HM7000 or TTS as well.
Yeah, TTS decoders. We won't talk about TTS.
TTS. We don't.
Can you be quiet?
We don't talk about that here.
Can you be quiet, decoder? Oh no. Okay, power off.
Yeah, that's it. Done. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on them?
Well, I quite like them because they're quite easy to set up for a completely no idea what they're doing person. Hello, me. Not Hilton. It's me. I have no idea what I'm doing.
I can see the attraction there. I wouldn't call them as plug and play. After having a play with them,
the chuff rates need work.
I wouldn't.
I'm looking at you, A3.
I wouldn't call it a direct plug and play, but there are things to get around. There are ways to get around it. There are a lot of things online. So from my point of view, I have had limited experience with ESU. The same amount of experience with HM7000, but I've had a lot of experience with Zimo decoders. In fact, I have personally gone through, programmed, and serviced 17 locomotives with Zimo MX sound decoders. And as Abert put here, Zimo has a high fail rate. I can confirm this. So I'm not saying Zimo are bad decoders, but we've had a few in my friend's collection that just weren't up to scratch out of the box and needed a lot of work, and even a reprogram at Zimo HQ in Vienna to get them to work right.
Doesn't get your vote of confidence.
Zimo doesn't have my vote of confidence at the moment, whereas I've had 5 HM7000 decoders that I have dropped in and done some minor CV changes, and they work fantastically. With the stay alives that plug in as well, brilliant. Which I think is a top feature for those. And also the 2 ESU decoders I have, the decoders are great. The sound profiles on them are great. You know, I can't fault them. So, but I can't give a this or that opinion on it. That's my my 2 cents on that. But so Steven says Zimo I find are the best all-rounders. Good motor control too. Iberk says DCC sound guy, lock sound no doubt. Bruce, very much an ESU man, not the cheapest, but after buying a lock programmer, it's very easy. I'm slowly getting to the idea that I need to get a lock programmer.
Me too.
I don't use standard decoders. My locos are either factory fitted or aftermarket sound and never run until sound fitted. That's interestingly expensive.
I shop at Waitrose. Yeah.
Marks and Spencer's.
Yes.
Oliver, show your DCC ignorance. This stream is for you, my friend. The flexibility of Soundtrack's programming is still unbeaten. I have heard that Soundtrack's is very well sought after in the US alongside Tsunami. But the amount of stuff that you can do with it is insane. Although I've never used them myself, and maybe I won't get round to it. We'll see. Yeah, ESU and Zimo decoders. Won't personally touch HM7000. Don't like it. Care to elaborate on your dislike of HM7000? I'm very curious. Yeah, yeah, that's what I associate. It's American modeling. Yeah, we did that already. For multifunctionality, lock chips seem to be the easiest. Hornby basic ones are ideal for lights. I mean,
yes, you know, I have a bit of issues with standard Hornby decoders. I really do. In terms of programming, you've got very, very limited. Very, very limited functionality, and also you can't. It doesn't matter what you do to them; it doesn't make the performance any good. If you're happy just watching a train go round, you know, roundy, good. You know, they're an entry-level decoder, great. The one decoder that I will refuse to buy, even if somebody offered them to me for free, was the Hornby Sapphire decoders.
Yeah.
Mainly because you put them on the track, you program them to whatever address you want them to be, say 29. And you go, oh, I fancy putting another loco on the layout. So you put another loco on the layout, and your loco that's on address 29 will randomly stop.
Yeah.
And you're, no, what's going on? And you're thinking, no, something's not working. No, everything else is working. It's just that Hornby decoder's decided, no, I'm not working now because you've put the train on the layout. I'm going to be an awkward little bastard and just not work. So you put it back on the programming track under the address you know you've programmed it to, and it goes, don't know what you're on about, mate. But I've just programmed you to address 29. So you take it off, put it back on again, write the address as address 29, and it goes, oh yeah, I'm address 29. and then you rinse and repeat and do the same thing again. So I've always had a little bit of a iffy relationship with Hornby decoders.
I mean, I've had 2 Hornby Sapphires blow up on me.
Oops.
While multiple locomotives have been running, like just in the background, and they've just gone, I don't want to work anymore. Magic smoke. Which somebody needs to explain how they get that in there in the first place. By the way,
the Hornby decoder.
Yeah. Well, no, just in general, the decoders that always come with magic smoke. It's just a matter of time before they release it into the atmosphere.
Yes, it does leave a bit of a horrid smell as well.
Yes, indeed. Andy's come back saying, I have a shop, so DCC sound decoders are a bit cheaper for me to buy in than buying directly from a sound specialist like Coastal DCC. I will say all of my aftermarket sounds come from Coastal DCC. Well, there you are. And very, very much for joining us. So, what about you guys? Any additional bits there? You know,
I hate 8-pin.
You hate 8-pin. Well, I think everybody in the universe hates 8-pin.
Yeah, I think at the time when it was first released, fine.
Stupid wires.
But now it's just that thing of it doesn't matter what you do. You're there. You're trying to fiddle with either the tender or the loco, and it doesn't matter which way you rotate it, which way you try and twist the wires. It always twists against you.
Yeah.
And then you end up having a little bit of like a bit
Next
of
18, 21 pin, lovely.
Next 18, that's the way forwards.
Next 21.
Oh, well, there you go, Max. Good, solid spot there, mate. Chris comes in. Of the 30 plus members of my club, there are only about 4 who really know the DCC systems inside out. And when the main body of the show team are helping operate a show, they all have to have notes to join in. That's pretty insane. What system are they using?
Well, that sort of ties into what Peter was saying earlier about do people know what people already know about DCC? Well, clearly on that layout, they even if you do know, you don't know. You've got to be some sort of tech whiz.
Yeah, for sure.
Or you've got some sort of secret key that nobody else knows about.
I showed them HM7000. They were all off and running, no notes, easy peasy. Yeah, and this is the thing. So I will advocate. For. I'm going to get rid of that for a second. I will advocate for HM7000 in this aspect that it is simple to use. On Bluetooth mode, you can do all the changes and everything Bluetooth mode and get away with it through your phone and get it done. It's when moving to DCC mode that can get complicated.
I mean, it's like an either-either system.
It is an either-or system. It really is an either-or system. I have buses. I'm getting things a little bit later than most. I see comments popping up on one side and not on the other. It's great. One thing about HM7000 that concerns me is will they last? They're obviously built to a price. Will it last 10 to 15 years? So that's one. That's one. Main shout, it's got pictures. It's very well written out. The app is very well made. But I think it needs some enhancements. But my concern with the HM7000 is it's too big.
The decoder.
The decoders are too big.
They are.
And they're too big for some of the Hornby locomotives.
Yeah.
I can't fit in most Backman models.
I mean, so using another manufacturer's models isn't as a basis isn't a good way to get through it. But they should be able to fit in their own models.
And they don't.
And you can say, oh yeah, but they're built for the... You could argue that the HM7000 decoder was built for the TT tender locomotives because it just happens to fit in there. And it's a happy coincidence that it will fit in any other tender locomotive, things like that. But if you have a tank locomotive or a Class 08 diesel, unless it's. I don't think it even fits in the Class 08.
They
They have a sound profile for it.
I know that they're meant the measurements of an 18-pin decoder and the 21-pin and so on. They're supposed to follow particular standards, and they're not,
Yes.
and they don't follow it.
No, they're slightly too big because of the Bluetooth antenna.
Yeah, and I understood that when they initially did the release, because at the time, COVID, it was difficult to get hold of the components they needed at the size, so they went for something a bit bigger. So during the pandemic, that's why they did the decoders bigger initially, because they couldn't get hold of the components, because parts for boards, resistors, all the little nitty-gritty bits that nobody gives a hoot about, you couldn't get them. Lead times were over a year away because manufacturing was absolutely bottlenecked because of demand and factory shutting down.
So, as iBuck said, they're also really buggy. I've had a few issues. I've had a few issues that I'm in the process of documenting because I don't want to start launching things out here, there, and everywhere and making accusations without coming up with stuff. But yes, there are some teething. I would call them teething issues. And I'm hoping that they will keep updating, they'll keep doing things like that, and they'll keep pushing out. And I hope it's a range that they improve on, honestly, because I think it's a great thing for new modelers. You know, where else can you get a sound decoder with 3 sound files that you can chop and change at your leisure that takes 20 minutes to do?
For, what was it, less than 70 quid? 50 quid?
On Amazon, the Black
50,
Friday
60
sale,
quid.
they're 50 quid at the moment.
You know, it's an absolute no-brainer.
I think if you just want something that, you know, goes choo choo and puff puff puff, great.
If you just want to add sound to, if you want to, it's perfect for Christmas and birthday presents for that person who got a train set for their last gift.
Yeah.
Now let's give them some sound for the next gift. You know, it's a quick and easy thing. Yes, 20 minutes max. It takes 20 minutes to change the sound profile on a HM7000 decoder.
Time it takes, well, actually that's less, it's more time than it takes to make a cup of tea, but still.
Yeah.
You probably have time to drink your tea as well.
Yes.
Watch a YouTube video.
Yeah. There's no pleasing some, is there?
Just stirring the pot. That's all he's doing.
Yeah.
Stirring the pot.
So here you go, Max. Have a gold brick. I want a silver one.
So, we've talked about controllers. We've talked about chips and pros and cons of some of them and which ones we prefer and which ones we don't. Shall we scare Oliver with some horror stories for the last 20 minutes?
How many wires I've broke on a blinking 8-pin decoder? Fucking things.
Charlie.
Yes.
How have your installs gone, my friend?
Well, I've already touched briefly on the first one on the top left there, which is the Bachmann 7F, and I had a spare Hornby Sapphire decoder, which I thought, I'll just put that in there.
Keep going. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Of course. And I regretted very much putting that decoder in there because the interface on the 7F is really good. They've done it really, really well. There's 2 little tabs on the board to be able to put a speaker in. So it's a nice and easy install. If you want to put a sound decoder in, you haven't got to worry about soldering wires onto the decoder. You can just solder it onto the board, which is great. But I don't want to use a Sapphire decoder anymore. I get that out of there and put something else in it. Other than that, it runs really well, nice and smooth. Really happy with that. Middle locomotive, you can just make out that is a Bachmann 8750 pannier tank. I have sound fitted that with a decoder from, was it Roads and Rails? That's where I got it from. And I did a little bit of an interesting install with that. So I put the speaker in the top of the cab, which is a little bit of an interesting choice, I guess. With that, I used a micro 8-pin decoder, just so I could fit it inside the body without having to take weight out of the loco. It was a pain getting the chuff rate right on that, getting it so it'd actually move on speed step 1, because it was an absolutely awful runner to start with. You'd have to crank it up to, I think it was about speed step 4 out of 28 on your standard controller to actually get it to move. And then when it did move, it would kind of move a little bit quicker than you'd want it to.
Sorry.
No worries. So with the back companion, it needed a lot of work, and that's where my frustration came in with trying to understand the ESU Lock Sound 5 manual, which is nearly 100 pages long. Of someone, okay, if you know electronics and you understand that kind of thing, great, good on you, marvelous that you could read that manual and go, yeah, I know what I'm on about. Well, yeah, brilliant, well done you. But someone like me, I'm not an electromechanical engineer. I don't understand what you mean by coefficient. And I don't give a shit what the coefficient is. All I want to do is get my locomotive to run smoothly. How I do it is I just want a simple, straightforward guide, and trying to find that information was almost impossible, which is kind of why I suggested this topic, because trying to get any information about this style of model railwaying, which is DCC, how do you program that pannier tank to behave properly instead of chuffing completely wrong, running like a bag of spanners, but when you put it on DC, it runs okay. So how it doesn't translate. So that was quite an interesting install. Also, you'd probably get a lock program. It makes it a lot easier. Well, the thing is, it would make it a lot easier, but the thing is, you still need to know what all the CVs mean. So if you don't know what the CVs mean, like me, and you have to literally read it and try and understand what they're on about by coefficients of back EMF and all these other wordy words that to someone like me mean 3 parts of fuck all squared. Yeah. Just tell me how to get it to run properly, how to get it to run smoothly, whether that's you adjust it this way, you adjust it that way.
I think that's solid.
I've tried watching videos of someone trying to explain how to program a locomotive on DCC, and it's 29 minutes of dribble. Absolute dribble. So I managed to figure out quite a few things, like getting the chuff breakdown. I found a nice website link that you put the details in there. How long does it take to do a rotation? How many cylinders would the real life locomotive have? And then it gives you the CV values you need, which is brilliant.
Yeah, no, I understand the frustration here, and I think it's definitely something that maybe could be a bit more, explained for people that don't have lock programmers, are new to it but want to get into it and things like that. But I think here, as Hill says, so I think the thing about DCC programming is to understand the fundamentals of CVs, etc., part of the course. Unless you want to pay someone to do that, you actually need to do the reading. And I think that's the thing.
Yeah, the thing is, it's 100 pages. 100 pages. It's not reasonable for me. I've managed to simplify it quite a lot. So much so that I've managed to invite somebody round and I've managed to do the programming for them. So I understand enough myself now to be able to do what I need to do to get my locomotives to run. I've been very successful with the pannier tank, and I'm quite proud of my achievements with it, considering other people have got, and they're not happy with it. But that still doesn't mean that I can't air my frustrations as someone that isn't in the know, that doesn't have that background and understanding of electronics, or understanding all these, what I can only describe as wordy words. I just want it to be straightforward and simple and to the point. I don't need a paragraph to explain to me about what it is. It's just, if your locomotive is running like this, this is what you need to do. Like
I get that.
Absolutely.
I get that. And I think Hilton does hit the nail on the head here. It's a hobby in its own, and some people live off this. Like they absolutely live for this stuff of, oh yes, but this CV needs to be changed by XYZ bit, and then it will do this. And I understand, you know, there are, and it's the same as the way you want to do your hobby.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people want to get in and have it work and not have to do anything.
I get that you cannot release a decoder, a sound profile for a locomotive, say, in this case, the pannier tank, and say, these are the CV settings you need. Because if you put it into a Bachmann pannier tank, it's going to be different to another one. And even if you put it into two of the same pannier tanks, it will still behave differently because the motor's different. Even if it's
I've
just
always found that annoying
because of voltages and stuff like that. So I feel that my frustration now, if I can air it in the way that I'm doing it now, which is, yeah, I've done the hard work and I've got through it on my own pretty much. You know, I feel that I can help other people that want to get into this hobby of digital control and sound, and they, you know, they're a little bit like me, which is, hang on a minute, that's chuffing 3 times per rotation. It should be 4 or 6 or so on and so forth. But I do feel a sense of achievement with that pannier tank because so many people have slated it as a poor runner. It's like, no. Have you seen one of my videos of that pannier tank running? It's pretty good.
Dave here right away. For me, this hobby is about escaping from fault-finding electronics.
Absolutely. And that sort of brings me on to the next locomotive in the slide, which is the Bachmann Small Prairie.
You've had issues with your Prairie, haven't you?
It is just...
My install was perfectly fine.
That one, it doesn't matter what I do. Honestly, it is like the... I can program it. I can do automatic calibration. I can mess about with, I think it's CV 54, 55, 56. I can do the start voltage, acceleration, deceleration. You know, I could pray to God and it would still be unhappy. It would still run like a pigeon.
Wow, okay.
I have taken resistors off it and it's better. I've
heard about that.
Yeah, I've taken the I had an ESU decoder in there originally and it was awful. Sadly, I hadn't taken off the resistors at that point because I didn't know about this, but if you take the resistors off the motors on older locomotives, they interfere with the DCC signal. And if you take them off, they run better. And this is this thing, what I'm saying about, there's nothing in the manual about, oh, by the way, if your locomotive's got older resistors on, you need to fetch them off because it interferes with the signal. So for me, it's that locomotive now, I've put in a lens decoder. With a stay alive, and it runs smoothly. Straight in. So put the decoder in, put the stay alive in, plugged it in, worked fine. It's just like, what is going on? How is it that one decoder can make it run like silk? You put another one in there and it wants to run like a bag of spanners.
It's the magic smoke that they somehow stick inside them.
Yeah, I swear it is.
Just, you got a decent bit of smoke that day.
Yeah, definitely.
I completely get where you're... And lens is usually rubbish.
Exactly.
I completely get where you're coming from. I really do. I was mentioning earlier, you know, I did quite a bit of work with some Zimmo decoders, and then we ended up just going... I've hit my light. We ended up just going to Zimmo headquarters in Vienna and just being like, can you look at these decoders and tell us if there's something wrong? And it turned out that the decoders were from a batch. So my friend bought them all at the same time a few years back, and they were from a batch that had a recall.
Yeah.
Because there was a bit of programming that was a bit off, apparently. And we got them in, and they said, yeah, we'll do the updates for free. They did the updates for us while giving us a tour of the facilities. really nice workshopy place, by the way. And then we came back, and suddenly they were running perfectly fine. So we'd spent months reading through manuals, changing CVs, resetting everything, just to then go in, have them rebooted, put them back on, everything works fine.
Yeah, and that is, again, this sort of feeds into my frustration.
I do understand the frustration there. I do understand it, but it's also okay. I think it's also a thing of it is another hobby in itself, as Hilt said.
It is.
I think it's one of those where you have to think of the time that you're spending. But I agree that not all the information is out there, and maybe that's something that needs to be done. Maybe manufacturers or
there does need to
social
be
media presences should maybe do some informational things on some of these bits.
A little bit of help out there, especially with, I'll go back to the pannier briefly, which is the starting voltage, which is the thing that gets it to run slower. I won't go into too much detail, but it's CV2. You increase the value on CV2. I think the default's 2, and you increase it. I think mine's about 6. And then you go into speed step 1, and it will run smoothly. Okay, it's not going to be 08 smooth, but it's a 3-pole motor. Blah 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 blah. It runs smooth enough for me.
Yeah.
But anyway, I guess I should move on quickly to the next one, which is the 2 Acura scale manners. Now, this isn't so much about the sound decoder, but about the speaker. So
is that the next slide?
No, it's here. Oh, they're actually on this slide, but yeah, we can go to this one. So I upgraded the speaker in this because, like so many people that have got an Acura scale manner, it's just too bloody quiet. It's just,
which they've rectified in the upcoming model, apparently.
Apparently so. And I just hope they haven't put another Sugar Cube speaker in the spare space next to the other one, as you can see in picture number 3.
Yeah, that's okay.
I hope they don't do that. But very nice chap, Roads and Rails, who I've mentioned before, has done an upgrade video of how to make this locomotive sound better. So I upgraded it with the speaker, as you can see in the far left picture, which is much bigger.
Yep.
And it's a really, really easy install. You just pop out that old speaker, solder the 2 wires on, bit of black tack onto the top of the tender, clip a little bit of the body, and you're done. And then you've got a model that sounds really, really good. Much better. Really
nice
pleased.
Simple install.
Nice simple install, and I think that's where Phil was saying about the difference with everyone hates 8-pin decoders. This is a classic example of why Next 18 and 21-pin Plux 22 are so much better, because you haven't got to do anything other than a few solder tabs. That's it. Done.
Don't have to touch the decoder itself.
Yeah.
Which is what's scaring the daylights out of me.
Yeah. Having a factory fitted install was brilliant. I think with those locomotives, I think it was Bradley Manor, the stay alive wasn't working correctly when I first purchased it, so I sent it back to Acura Scale, and they kindly said to me, "Oh, by the way, we've just updated your sound profile with our updated profile." Oh, thank you very much. Then I tried double heading my manners together, and they didn't work. They were out of sync completely.
Oh,
the sound profile was different. So I sent my other manor off to go and get reblown as well. So they sorted that out for me as well, which I was very pleased about.
Well, I mean, I've heard your upgraded manners, and I really like how they sound. So I think you've done a good job there. I think the manual of the instructions that Richard at Roads and Rails has done is very, very easy to follow, and I agree. I think that's fantastic. That's one of the good sides of the hobby, is that it's becoming easier to do these things yourself. I'm not saying it wasn't easy to do things yourself beforehand, as I'll show you in a few seconds. Yeah. But there are certain things that are becoming easier for people to do, like speaker installs, sound installs, and things like that yourself, especially with, not being happy. And then I'll go back to this last one. You can mention the King before we move on to my
the King. I know that's one of your favourites.
Let's not talk about my King.
No. It's in my,
but that was the motor.
Oh, your King, yes, your King is
yeah,
great.
it's my King. So this was the horror story from Halloween actually, which was that I got a sound decoder for this, and it was the same as a Castle, and it sounded absolutely awful.
Ugh.
Which is always why you need to do your research on your sound profiles, is making sure that Hilton, he's so lovely, isn't he?
I know, right?
Yeah, so do your research with your sound profiles. Make sure you can hear what you're going to be hearing, because you take a gamble and you can throw 120 quid down the drain. With that, there was quite a lot of heavy modification required to get the sound that I wanted out of that decoder. And the chap I bought it from, Loco Man Sounds, he even recommended, if you want the King, you're going to need to put a big speaker in it. There's no point going for a small one because you'll be disappointed. It'll sound crap, and you won't like it.
I can second that
profusely at that point.
I can second that.
So
when it works,
you have to take Rob's advice or do what I did, which is either use a multi-tool, or I actually used a Stanley blade or a scalpel to cut open the tender to be able to get the speaker in there. And I'm very impressed.
Okay.
That locomotive has presence on the layout. You can hear it over diesels. You can hear it over the Acura Scale Class 37 with the big EM. Is it EM1 or EM2 speakers in there?
The older one's the EM1, I think.
EM1.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Hear it. It's got presence. And that, again, that was a nice, relatively easy sound install. So in complete contrast to the pannier tank. And contrast to that bloody prairie.
Shall we briefly move on to my pannier tank?
Oh, go on then.
So,
oh my God, what did you do to it?
It's been murdered.
Should I have been hung, drawn, and quartered?
Yeah, it's literally what had happened. So, when I bought this locomotive, I saw Jamie Goodman several years ago posted a video of a sound file for the 1366 pannier tank, and I fell in love. The tinny, the really sharp whistle is very reminiscent of the real thing, and I needed to have it. It needed to be the first sound locomotive I had. And I did my research and I saw that it was a 6-pin, so I picked up a 6-pin decoder, admittedly the wrong 6-pin decoder, because it has this stupid copper covered ribbon thing. And I was looking for sound installs, and I found an article on RM Web where the guy was like, so you have to take it apart and cut a bit down the side, and it has to fit inside the pannier tank. And that's where it all has to go, even though the decoder, you can see on the right hand picture here, it's actually a 6-pin, and the decoder is supposed to sit up in the bunker. There's a little slot in the bottom of the cab that sits up into the bunker. Now, admittedly, I bought the wrong decoder, but I was determined to get round it and figure it out, and I managed to fit sound to it. I had to cut about a third, so you can see at the top picture where I started to mark out the line I needed to cut, and I ended up taking a third of the total body weight of the top part of the weight that covers the motor. So I ended up exposing a wire and setting that up, and then having the wires go everywhere and everything like that. It became a very difficult install from what was originally a very difficult disassembly. Simpleton. But otherwise,
me too, Charlie. Me too.
Otherwise, the sound that I chose was fantastic. Even with the Sugar Cube speaker, it came out quite nicely. But would I still recommend it on DC? I have heard some people say that their 1366 panniers run flawlessly. Mine, on the other hand, has never run flawlessly on DC or DCC at all. Whether that's down to my track, my mate's track, or anything like that, I don't know. Won't comment. eventually I will do a complete thing on it with the new sound install and rebuilding it, because I need to get that done. But it was a nightmare install, and when it did work, it sounded lovely, and it will be back. I will be doing a completely different install, a completely different way around it, but I digress. So there is my horror story. I won't go into the King. I did a video on the King. Go and check out my YouTube on that. I've also done several posts on Instagram about it, and I've recently done some brief upgrades on it as well. So I won't go into that again. But I'm going to get rid of that for a second while I adapt it. So there you have it. We've gone through a very beginner-friendly, I would say. Thanks, Oliver. Absolute pleasure. And yeah, have fun on Saturday. We'll discuss that in a few seconds. Yeah, I wish I could go too. So yeah, we've had a very brief chat on Hornby. Hornby? I've read Hornby and I had to say Hornby. On DCC, an intro to DCC, you know, the systems, the decoders, things like that, and some friendly warnings from our side. I hope it's been informative, even if you're even if you use DCC. I'm not very knowledgeable on it. You know, I'm not a technical kind of guy. Could you believe it? I'm not a technical. I
don't think any of us are technical. We just sort of fumble along.
We just get on with it.
Just somehow get on with it, and we get a good result at the end.
Just keep buggering on, as they say.
Yeah.
But it is an innovation. It has been around for a while, and I still think it's getting better. I think things are improving. So now at the beginning, I called this a 1.5. So this is not the last time we will be talking about DCC. We do plan on coming back over the next few months and talking about maybe Bluetooth specifically. We'll have a chat about Tsunami or Blue Nami decoders and HM7000 and their differences and the influence. We can talk about older systems. There's a lot in DCC that we can talk about. So this topic will come back in the future. And if there's anything specific on DCC that you guys would like us to talk about or get somebody on to talk about, let us know. But otherwise, we're going to move to this week's community shout out. Now, Charlie, this week's community shout out has come from you.
Yes.
Who are we talking about this week? Who do you want to shout out this week?
Yes, John Ashley Modelling. He's a brilliant chap. I've actually done a few shared live streams with him on Instagram. The banter between us is quite healthy, I would say. It's a healthy form of banter. He has accused me of being posh. And I was like, how can you accuse me of being posh?
Because of the way you say posh.
Yeah, he just said, well, I'm from Yorkshire. And I said, well, that's not exactly a very high bar, is it? I mean, you at least get me a challenge. So, but anyway, that's our sort of internal banter, but his weathering that he does is absolutely brilliant. And he's just got a real eye for detail. So much so that I've actually purchased a Bachmann 64 XX pannier tank from him and another auto coach. So I've got another pannier tank on the way.
Lovely.
So before long, I'll be having a pannier tank fest.
Pannier tank
fest. Pannier tank fest. I might even have a couple of visiting pannier tanks from other Instagram model railways yet.
Lovely.
It's going to be all things bright and beautiful and pannier tanks.
As it should be. Here.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. No, okay, so there you are. John Astley Modelling. I've put a link in the description of the stream, and we'll also put a post up on Instagram tomorrow morning just to shout him out as well. So there you are. Now, before we move on to next week, I'm going to remove this here. If any of you are going to the NEC this weekend, I believe it's the National Festival Railway.
Not Worley.
Or is that the other one? It's not Worley.
Worley.
It's not Worley this weekend.
It's the NEC, formerly known as Wardley.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is he 5 foot? Is he 5 foot nothing and wears a trilby? Warnley, there you are. So there you are. Yeah. So there is one of the. I think it's the last big show of the year. It's coming up tomorrow. Starts Saturday, Sunday. Everybody's setting it up now. There is quite a few manufacturers going. As I said, it's one of the biggest shows of the year. At least it's becoming one of the biggest shows of the year. I'm expecting Akira Scale to announce something else. I have a feeling that they're going to mention something else on their slot tomorrow. There is a panel which has caused much uproar over the last few weeks, which I'm looking forward to seeing. It's something that interests me. I want to see what's going on. So, James has just upset the Manchurians. Well, they're north of the Watford Gap. It doesn't bother me. Oh wait, so's Birmingham.
Oh no,
bugger. So yeah, I'll be interested to see the community's thoughts. Please join the Discord. Let us know in there. Send us some pictures. Let us know what's going on. Let us know any of the new stuff that's coming out. And yes, Chris is going to be there with his layout Camelot. And if you are a TT120 fan, go and watch Chris's video on the NEC show, and the amount of TT120 stuff is going to be there. I'm fairly surprised with, quite honestly. There's a number of layouts, there's a number of stalls, and he gives a very, very quick, a very, very nice overview of it. So go and check that out as well. Are either you two going?
I'm not.
I'm going Saturday.
Going Saturday. Okay. So I need to send some flyers quickly. You can just start throwing them around, you know.
Yeah.
Just start pinning them on everything. Pin it on Max. When you see Max, just pin it on him.
Well, he should have his
walking
own.
billboard.
He should have his own pinboard. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, why not? Give me some flyers.
Yeah, we'll figure that out somehow. So there we are. We're
free biscuits.
Or free biscuits. Free biscuits.
Yeah, can't say no to free biscuits.
Hides. That's it. Max is gone.
He's going to see me coming around. He's going to go, oh no, it's him from Hooterton. Hide.
Oh no. Fantastic. Well, I look forward to seeing everything that comes up. Enjoy it. Let us know next week. Although, actually, you won't be here next week. I won't be here next week. Oh, yes, and a very big announcement.
Oh, matron.
Very big announcement. So look forward to that. Who have we got next week? Well, you don't know. Well, you guys all don't know because none of us three will be here next week. Next week is a biggie. It's a biggie. So Rob and Matt will be coming on to talk about 40 years of Network Southeast, all things DMU and EMU, with Danny from various multiple units and Southwest Max. They're both coming on to join us and talk about their escapades. They're coming in to talk about modeling, the 40 years of Network Southeast, what may be coming up, what we'd like to see. It's very possibly going to be a longer stream than usual, but we're really looking forward to it. So come and join. I believe Tom is doing all the puppetry in the background. I'm taking a week off.
A long need, a much needed.
I'll be in the hut straight away.
I'll probably be in the background, like watching while doing something else, but otherwise, yeah, we'll be around. So there you are. So 40 years of Network Southeast. The stream will be up tomorrow, so you can set your notifications up, share it out with all your friends, family, whoever you want in your clubs. Let everybody know. Get as many people involved with this as possible. I just want to say thank you very much to every single one of you that's joined. We peaked at 40 viewers today, and I will have a look at the analytics later on. But yeah, thank you very much. Chris is saying biggest TT announcement since Hornby's launch. There you are. Maybe we'll see more of Chris on the shunting yard in the near future as well. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Spoon.
You know what I mean?
Spoon. Anyway, enough of that babble. Just want to say thank you very much to everybody for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always. Any final words, guys? Any final thoughts?
Save it for the next time, I think. There's
Save
so
it for
much
next
we could
time.
get into right now. Otherwise, we could be here till
Clean
10
your track.
o'clock.
Make
Clean
sure
your track. Clean
Yeah,
your
clean your
track.
track. Yeah, the one thing we didn't mention, isn't it?
And your wheels. Make sure and pickups are clean.
Clean
Especially
it all.
DCC.
Yeah, DCT, you need clean track. No dirty track allowed here.
There you are. See, we missed off so much. We were experts. Really. There you are. Tie your shoes and go to bed.
No, don't expect miracles, Hilton. Don't expect miracles.
How do you tie? How do you
What's a
tie?
I thought I'd wear one of those.
It's not pay me, you wear one of them.
Oh no, I'm good, thanks. Anyway, lads, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to both of you, as always. Thank you very much, everybody in the chat, for joining us as well, and sticking around for the long haul and listening to the three of us babble on for an hour and 41 minutes. I'm sorry about the intro at the beginning. I realised the intro didn't actually start until like 10-15 seconds, so it cut out the first like 2 clips of it. So I need to, for some reason it just didn't go live after saying you're live, so I have to wait. I don't have to be. I need to be patient. That's when I need to not jump the gun. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us. Absolute pleasure. Phil, if people want to find you, where can they reach out to you at?
PN Trains on YouTube and Instagram.
Fantastic. Charlie, what about you, mate?
They can find me on Hoodston Model Railway on Instagram and YouTube.
Fantastic. And if you want to get hold of me, you can search at the _Little Western on Instagram and the Little Western on YouTube. Links are all here, there, and everywhere in the description for all of us here as well. So, from all of us here, thank you very much, and have a good night. We'll see you. Well, they'll see you next week. We won't. We'll be around.
I'll be back in the hut.
Yeah, we're off somewhere.
Yeah, we're going on holiday. Don't know where yet.
Yeah.
Take care, everybody. Have a good night.
Good night.
Cheers.